1 to 4 players are building island parks filled with attractions and cloned dinosaurs. They couldn't call it something like Jurassic Park. Nobody knows what that means. It could be about anything. They needed something catchy and to the point. Welcome to Dinosaur Island. Players take a company's lab board and matching park boards and bits. Put the track board and phase 1 and 2 boards in the middle so everyone can reach and or see them. Take out the dice, market stacks and rows, research stacks, objectives, and plot twists. Plot twists do something small to make your games feel a bit different. Objectives are tasks that you'll want to complete, not only for the victory points, but because the endgame triggers when there's only one objective left. Put the visitor meeples in the cloth bag and hand out the starting money. The dice are rolled in place. Using their scientists, players will go around the table choosing to take the DNA, or reward, shown on the dice, increase their DNA storage levels, or take a dinosaur. Passing means you can use that scientist as a worker later on. The dice have little pips on them. The unused die with the highest pips becomes your threat die, which I'll explain in a bit. If you have a level 2 or 3 scientist drop a DNA die, you get that DNA amount multiplied by the scientist level. In turn order, players can hire specialists that provide abilities or build an attraction which can bring excitement, victory points, and or give you a place to put visitors. Attractions cost the amount on the title, plus the cost of the market row they're in. Lab upgrades can be bought here as well. Place these on your lab board right away. DNA, both regular and advanced, can also be bought. Buying DNA allows you to clear the market row of an item of your choice. Finally, passing gains you $2. Players simultaneously place workers, gaining the benefits and or actions. The big thing to focus on is security. If your threat level is greater than your security level, the dinos break out and eat your visitors. The threat die from phase 1 adds pips to your park's threat. This phase is fairly straightforward, so let's look at those parks. Dinosaurs take up 2 spaces and attractions take up 1. You likely won't fill your board, but you will want to give visitors places to go. Players will draw the number of meeples matching their excitement level. That's the number on the black triangle. Hooligans need to be placed first, then the rest. If you run out of space for visitors, they'll need to stay in line. You'll still get paid, but you won't get VP. Next, you take a look at that threat level I mentioned in phase 3. You lose 1 VP for every visitor eaten. Hooligans somehow avoid getting chomped unless there's no other option. Everything in this game builds toward those VP. At the end, you'll add up points from your attractions, dinosaurs, remaining money, completed objectives, and then lose VP for empty dino exhibits. The player with the highest score at the end wins. Get DNA, buy lab upgrades and park attractions, and clone dinosaurs, all to attract excited people to your park. That's Dinosaur Island. This game is massive table hog, even with 2 players. It takes as much space as Fury of Dracula, possibly more. We've had games last 60 minutes, and we've had one game last 180. I don't know what went wrong there. Most of the time, you'll see 120 minutes for medium games and 60 to 75 for short. Setup and takedown, if everything is bagged and separated, will take around 15 minutes. I'd save this for the average 10-year-old based on the reading and math. It's not particularly difficult, but it's pretty constant with the DNA, threat, excitement, money, and so on. Poor Mom. It's a running joke with me, Dad, and our friend Ariel about Mom's Dinosaur Island. Let's be honest in calling them failures. Each game, you hear, "Oh no!" and "Why did I do that?" and "Why am I so bad at planning?" I'll touch on this in the next section, but bad decisions can just crush you in this game. The randomized market phase can make some things too powerful for the price or too expensive for what they provide. Players higher in the turn order have a big advantage. I have problems with the gaminess of phase 2. This game could have supported variable player powers and been better for it. I would have rather they spent time adding more to the game, features and difficulty, instead of making the meeples different shapes. With that said, I do like the different dino meeples. I think that's only in the Kickstarter edition though. Setup and takedown will take a long time no matter which game length you choose. The shark game also ends before things get interesting. In other words, unless Dinosaur Island is the only game you have, pick another way to spend an hour. This shines at the medium game. The plot twists are great and help games feel different. The objectives are mostly the same, just longer or shorter. I wish there were more. There isn't a lot of reason to go for large carnivores. For whatever reason, they cost more to make, and even though they bring more excitement, the risks are too high. Because of this, there's always a rush for herbivores, and not a lot of danger in having visitors eaten unless you want to go all in on large carnivores. You can mitigate dice rolls and losing out on market items, but you can't always make up for it. I said before that bad choices will cost you the game, but bad luck can play just as big a role. I can see why people would love this game, hate this game, or find it to be just okay. Fans of heavy, meaning complex, games might be bored or think that there isn't enough to do or control. Fans of lighter, meaning simpler games, might be overwhelmed with the choices and bits. It has many problems, but the game just works for me. I can't put it any other way. Unlike the Visitors, I know there are safer choices out there, but I keep coming back to Dinosaur Island anyway.